Hi butterflies! Today we are going to do some fun outdoor sensory activities for the summer. Okay, are you ready to make some goop? We need cornstarch, water, and some sort of container. I'm using a clear box. We need a 1 cup measuring cup and a big spoon. So for goop, you need 2 parts cornstarch and 1 part water. That means if you want to make 2 cups of goop, you need 2 cups of cornstarch. What color is the cornstarch? White. So we need 2 cups of cornstarch and then 1 cup of water. Okay. Now you can use a spoon to stir it, or you can dig in and you get messy. So I'm gonna get messy. So you want to mix it all together. Now you'll notice when you're playing with this, it's kind of a solid and then it turns into a liquid. Isn't that kind of interesting? So you really want to mix it up. This is great for fine motor skills because it's hard to pick up, and it's a great sensory because it's kind of slimy and ooey and gooey. So what you can do with this goop is you can add gems or beads, other little things to pick out of the goop. So once it's all mixed, have fun playing with it. So now, instead of it being solid, it's going to be much more liquid. Really still need to play with it a little bit after you add that extra cup of water. Now it's still the water. Or even a few drops of food coloring, you can. So then you can make different colors.
Are we doing this tonight? Are people going to actually show up?
I don't know. I'm still working, so I figured I'd log in.
You're still working?
Mm-hmm.
At 7?
Yep.
Why?
Okay friends, so I mixed up some blue liquid chalk, some red liquid chalk, and some green liquid chalk. Now before you do this, make sure you test it and let it dry in a small area and make sure it washes off because you don't want to stain the concrete. So I'm ready to use the squirt bottles for liquid chalk. you can also use paint brushes if you prefer. So I'm going to show you how you can use a squeeze bottle to make some chalk. Are you ready? Okay, my friends, look, I'm gonna make some squiggles. And then you can see it kind of starts to dry. Now remember, you don't want to use too much paint because you don't want to stain the concrete. So now I'm going to do some stars. Using a squeeze bottle is great because it makes you use your hands to pinch your fingers to create different designs. So let's see, maybe a heart. And then I can even kind of paint it in if I wanted. Now remember, you can use a squeeze bottle, or if you prefer, you can use a paintbrush. So now I'm gonna change and use my red. See my beautiful designs? Let's see, maybe add some red. Now red and white make pink, so it kind of looks pink. And you can see the sun is making it dry and it's turning into chalk. Let's see what else I can create. So this is also a great time to maybe practice some letters. C, O, U, R. Uh-oh, ran out of blue. Let me get a different color. R-T, that spells quart. That's my nickname. So you can practice spelling with letters, drawing happy faces, hearts, stars, squiggles, rainbows, anything you want. Enjoy with making your liquid chalk. Okay, so we just made our goop, and then we turned it into liquid chalk. Another fun outside activity in the summer is taking ice cubes and painting them. So again, I have it in a clear box so you can see, watch how I paint my ice cubes. This is a fun activity because it exposes you to cold and you can feel it, and then you get to observe what happens if you maybe rub an ice cube in your hand, and you'll see like it starts to melt. It's a great exploration activity that costs no money, so have fun. Okay, my friends, check out my ice painting. You can see right here, I tried to make my own green by mixing blue and yellow. And then over here I made purple by mixing them. And now I'm kind of explore, get messy because we're outside, and enjoy playing with painting the ice. Okay, my friends, our next outside activity, we are going to make our very own bubbles. Okay, for this recipe, you need 6 cups of water, 1 cup of dish soap. I like the Blue Dawn. And then you need a 1/4 of a cup of Caro syrup or glycerin. I know glycerin is sometimes hard to find in your house, so if you've got Caro syrup, you can use that. So first we're going to start off by pouring 6 cups of water into our container. 1, can you help me count? 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one, 6. So we have our 6 cups of water in here. You can see it sloshing around. Now we need to add 1 cup of dish soap. So we're gonna give it a big squeeze. I got this cute little container at the dollar store, so it's very cost effective because this will create a bunch of bubbles that you'll get to be able to use over and over and over again. So now I'm going to very carefully pour the soap into the water. I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to kind of just scoop out as much of the soap as I can. Now here comes the really tricky part. I need to very carefully mix this without it forming too many bubbles. So I've got my spoon all the way at the bottom. I'm just going back and forth. In class, we've made muffins and all sorts of different cooking projects, so I know you guys are great stirrers and you know how to be extra careful. What happened to our water? First it was clear, and what color did it turn once we added the soap? Blue, you're right. Part of the reason why I like the blue Dawn dish soap is because blue is my favorite color. Okay, so we stirred it all up, got it nice and mixed. Now we need a quarter of a cup of Caro syrup. This is going to help the bubbles become stretchy. So this is very sticky Caro syrup. You can find it in the baking section. Ugh, kind of is like syrup. And got some on the bottom. I'm going to wash my finger off. Okay, so I'm gonna, and now again we have to very carefully mix the Caro syrup into our bubble solution. Mixing, 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 mixing. Now homemade bubble solution often works best the next day. So you can mix this up and you can experiment to see if the bubbles are working, or you can wait a day and see if that makes the bubbles stick better. You can also put in a little bit of cornstarch and that will help form the bubbles. Mixing it all up. And then what do you say? Should we try some bubbles? I think so. Now, I have some bubble wands. I've got 2 of them here. But if you don't have any bubble wands at home, you can take a pipe cleaner and you can form it into your own bubble wand. So I just did a circle. Dip it in. Oh, did you see that? Pop. We're going to try with these ones. Now, let's have some fun making some bubbles. Okay, my friends, for our last outdoor sensory activity, we are going to use a spray bottle. A spray bottle is an excellent tool to work on fine motor skills because it forces you to squeeze and it develops your hand muscles, which will come in handy for pre-writing skills. So first, we are going to use our spray bottle to water some plants. So let's go. Okay, my friends, you can see I have a nice little herb garden. I have basil, cilantro, sage, and then I also have some flowers. So I'm going to use my spray bottle to water them. Are you ready? So when you're all done watering your flowers with your spray bottle, you can even put some liquid watercolor inside the spray bottles and spray on some paper. So I'm gonna hang up my poster board and we are going to do some spray bottle art. Ready? For this art activity, you are going to need spray bottles, liquid watercolor or food coloring, blue tape, and either cardstock or construction paper or a poster board. I got my spray bottles from Amazon, but you can also get them from Home Depot or Lowe's for less than $2 each, and sometimes they have them at the dollar store. Again, this is a great skill that we're using with our hands to develop our hand muscles for pre-writing skills. Enjoy! Okay, so I hung the poster board up on my deck, so that way it's gonna force me to reach up when I am spraying. So you can add any colors you want. I just recommend that if you're gonna use it to spray, make sure you do it where if they miss off to one of the sides, you're okay with whatever gets wet. Let's have some fun. Okay, my friends, check out my spray bottle art. Now I did get a little bit messy just because the bottle was leaking a little bit, and you can see it's dripping down at the bottom, so it's kind of getting on my concrete, but that's okay. This is a messy activity outside, so you can use this as a layering project where you set it up one day with one color and then the next day you can add another color, or you can do all the colors at once, but see how it blends nicely. Now I used a poster board as my piece of paper, but you can use, I would recommend cardstock or construction paper just because it's a little bit thicker, and computer paper might rip easily. So have fun doing this fun art project. Parents, as you can see, this is kind of a messy activity, but don't worry, if you have a hose, a little bit of water makes it go away. Also, once the cornstarch goop dries, you can kind of rub it and it comes right off. So it's an easy outside cleanup, full of lots of different fun sensory activities to keep them cool and busy this summer. Enjoy!